What if the next global superpower rivalry isn't happening in the skies, on land, or even in cyberspace, but at 5 times the speed of sound? As the world watches the United States, Russia, and China dominate headlines with hypersonic breakthroughs, India has quietly built its own high-speed, high-stakes program, one that could redefine regional power dynamics in Asia. Behind closed doors, advanced test vehicles, next-gen scramjet engines, and classified missile prototypes are being developed at a pace far faster than most analysts ever expected. The question now is clear. Is India preparing to enter and win the next global arms race? India's hypersonic ambition, from observer to contender. For decades, hypersonic technology was largely restricted to the world's most powerful militaries. The US tested early designs, Russia pursued high-speed gliders, and China shocked the world with rapid advancements. No one expected India to enter the race so soon and with such determination. Yet, over the last 15 years, India's Defense Research and Development Organization, DRDO, has quietly pursued a long-term roadmap, developing scramjet engines, hypersonic glide vehicles, and dual-use aerospace platforms capable of sustained speeds of Mach 6 and beyond. Today, India stands on the brink of becoming the 4th nation in the world with operational hypersonic strike capability. But the most interesting part? Much of the program remains classified, leading experts to believe India's true progress is far ahead of what is publicly known. Understanding hypersonic missiles, why they matter. Hypersonic missiles are not just faster missiles. They represent a fundamental evolution in warfare. 1. Speed, Mach 5+. These weapons travel at speeds that make it nearly impossible to intercept using current missile defense systems. 2. Maneuverability. Unlike ballistic missiles, hypersonic glide vehicles, HGVs, can change direction mid-flight, making their trajectory unpredictable. 3. Low flight path. They fly within the atmosphere at low altitudes, evading radar and reducing reaction time for defenders. 4. Strike range and precision. Capable of hitting targets thousands of kilometers away with high accuracy, they can threaten aircraft carriers, high-value military bases, and command centers. This is why the US, Russia, and China consider hypersonics the crown jewel of future military dominance, and this is the club India is preparing to join. The secretive Indian hypersonic ecosystem. While some details are known, most of India's program is shielded from public view. However, analysts have pieced together major components. 1. HSTDV, the Hypersonic Technology Demonstrator Vehicle. In 2020, India shocked international observers by successfully testing the HSTDV, a scramjet-powered demonstrator. Key achievements: achieved hypersonic speed of Mach 6, validated scramjet combustion, demonstrated materials capable of withstanding 2,000 degrees Celsius, proved long-duration hypersonic flight stability. This single test showed India was not a beginner, it was already a serious player. Future use of HSTDV: hypersonic cruise missiles, rapid response strike platforms, space planes, and reusable launch vehicles. 2. BrahMos 2, India's first hypersonic cruise missile. Perhaps the most publicized part of India's hypersonic dream is BrahMos 2, a joint Indo-Russian project. Expected capabilities: speed Mach 7, range 1,500 kilometers, launch platforms, ground, air, sea, and submarines. Target types: naval fleets, high-value ground assets. Rumors suggest that prototype components have already been tested, though official confirmation remains limited. If BrahMos 2 becomes operational by early 2030, India will possess one of the fastest cruise missiles on the planet. 3. Hypersonic Glide Vehicle Program. Classified. Beyond HSTDV and BrahMos 2, analysts believe India is secretly developing an indigenous hypersonic glide vehicle, HGV, similar to Russia's Avangard, China's DFZF, the U.S. Army's LRHW. Why this matters? HGVs represent true strategic power, weapons that can defeat missile shields and reach targets in minutes. Satellite images from test ranges in Odisha and Ladakh hint at new long-range test tracks, high-temperature material facilities, and wind tunnels capable of Mach 12 testing. This suggests India's HGV work is more advanced than officials admit. Why India needs hypersonic weapons? Hypersonic missiles are not just prestige technology. India has pressing strategic reasons to pursue them. Countering China's rapid military expansion. China is currently the global leader in hypersonic weapons. With DF-17 hypersonic ballistic missiles, operational HGV units, and carrier-killer hypersonic systems, India must upgrade its arsenal to maintain deterrence, especially along the Himalayan border and the Indo-Pacific region. Balancing Pakistan's tactical capabilities. While Pakistan has limited hypersonic development, it relies heavily on China for advanced missile technology. India's hypersonics serve as strategic superiority tools, ensuring an overwhelming conventional advantage. Strengthening naval power across the Indian Ocean. Hypersonic missiles can neutralize aircraft carriers, destroyers, submarines, and coastal facilities. This gives India a major advantage in any Indo-Pacific conflict scenario. Space, surveillance, and future warfare. Hypersonic technology also supports reusable space launch platforms, high-altitude drones, rapid satellite deployment, and near-space military systems. It's not just about missiles, it's about the future of aerospace dominance. The challenges India must overcome. Despite progress, India faces significant hurdles. 1. Scramjet reliability. Sustaining combustion at hypersonic speeds is extremely difficult. 2. Heat-resistant materials. Temperatures reach over 2,500 degrees Celsius, requiring advanced composites. 3. Precision guidance at hypersonic velocity. Maintaining accuracy while traveling faster than a bullet is a major engineering challenge. 4. Funding and infrastructure. Hypersonics demand massive investment in wind tunnels, testing facilities, and high-temperature labs. 5. International pressure. Hypersonic proliferation is a sensitive issue. Major powers may attempt to limit India's progress. Is this the start of a new global arms race? Short answer, yes. Long answer, the US, Russia, and China are already competing for hypersonic supremacy. India's entry expands this into a multi-front international race. Key consequences are a shift in nuclear deterrence doctrine, arms buildups across Asia, increased pressure on NATO and Pacific alliances, faster development of hypersonic defenses, a new era of aerospace weaponry. India's rise in hypersonics will force the world to rethink power balances, military strategies, and geopolitical alignments. India's strategic advantage: quiet progress, big impact. Unlike China's aggressive showcasing or Russia's high-profile announcements, India's program is stealthy and systematic. This secrecy gives India freedom to experiment, protection from foreign surveillance, a technological surprise factor, and strategic ambiguity for deterrence. When India eventually unveils its first full-spectrum hypersonic weapon, global military analysts expect a major geopolitical shockwave. Conclusion: is India ready to lead the next era of warfare? India's entry into the hypersonic domain is not just a military upgrade, it's a geopolitical transformation. With successful scramjet tests, advanced prototypes under development, and a rapidly expanding scientific ecosystem, India is emerging as a serious contender in the next global arms race. Whether it can surpass China or match Russia remains uncertain, but one thing is clear: India's hypersonic ambitions will reshape the future of Asian security and global military order in the decades ahead.